All right, Papa Adrian is here to solve your problems. I've been getting all these emails saying I'm dying of withdrawal not having to watch any of your unboxing videos. I'm here to cure that. All right, so it occurred to me that we've never done a review of the McIntosh MA9500 or even the unboxing of one. So I thought we'd do one. Now, before we do, let me just show you something very interesting that for those of you who sometimes are looking for maybe a better price on a McIntosh and your dealer might have access to this, ask them to look into something called a pound R. So Mike can do a close-up on that. Pound R is McIntosh's code for a B-stock or refurbished unit. I'll just explain very quickly what that essentially means. Pound R could be because something was not working properly when a client buys it and the dealer sends it back to McIntosh. McIntosh replaces it with a new one. McIntosh will go through it with a fine-tooth comb, rebuild if they have to, and then because it's been rebuilt as opposed to newly built, they will call it a pound R. It could also be a demo that McIntosh has used at a show or used for photography or for reviewers and so on. So as long as it's not fresh, brand new, built on the assembly line, etc., then it's called a pound R. Now the good news with pound R, McIntosh, in my experience, their pound Rs are typically in great shape physically. The ones I've ever bought for clients and for myself has always been fantastic. And they are repacked exactly like new. The only difference is it's pound R. And you get to buy it at a better price. So sometimes when it's available and I need something for the floor for demo purposes, I will buy a pound R because it's going to save me some money and I'm going to use it on the floor anyway. And it's usually in much better shape than my own demos. It's that good. So I do encourage for those clients from time to time, if it's available, look at a pound R if you're trying to save a bit of money. Anyway, so let's do the unboxing of this. And while Curtis starts doing that, I will go into some of the physical, the specifications of the unit. The MA9500 is McIntosh's second from the top of the line. In fact, it was the top of the line until the MA12000 came out. Now the MA12000 is a hybrid design, so it's got tubes for the preamp section and solid state for the amplifier section. The power, I believe, is the same. The MA12000 is also 300 watts per channel, and the 9500 is also 300 watts per channel, but it's all solid state. It comes with a 8-band EQ, much like the C55. It's got the DAC module, the DA2, the latest one, built in. And what's really nice about the DAC module, which I'll show you once we open it up, is that it literally is a module. So if McIntosh were to come up with a DA3, and it happens to be compatible with the current version unit, then all you have to do is pop the old module out, put the new one in, load some firmware, and away you go. And the cost of doing that is much, much, much less than buying an all-new DAC. All right, so in the meantime, and price-wise, the MA9500 is $12,000 US or 16,800 Canadian for the regular version. The pound R is something that you need to talk to your dealer with. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we'll just put it. So, when you take the big cover off, you'll see all these pieces of foam, and that's to really protect the amplifier from during shipping and so on. Okay, and then now you will see the actual unit inside. Now sometimes, I'm surprised this isn't, McIntosh's outer cardboard is not stapled, and so it just folds down like this. The other side is stapled. Oh, so we can just slide it out. So this way you can just grab it easily. So we'll just, if I can get it, can you lift it? Can you get it? And we'll just put it to your left. Okay. All right. Okay, another piece of foam. And now you see the manual. remote control, power cable, and unit. So now you'll see also that it's attached to a piece of plywood at the bottom. Can you see that, Mike? At the bottom? That's to protect the amplifier as well for shipping. So what we have to do is take it out, flip it, and then take off the bolts that are attached so the amplifier can come loose. There should be, no? Okay, all right, so anyway, let's take it out. Oh, there it is. So that's the little wrench I was looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to flip it down. Okay, so McIntosh ships with a little wrench, which I'll show you here. So you can use this little wrench to take off the bolts, but also you can use this to tighten the speaker binding posts. So very cool little device. Don't lose it. If you get one of these things, keep it handy, because if you ever have to move it, you're going to use something like that as opposed to a spanner or a wrench.
Okay, put this back in there.
All right, so we're going to flip this way, and your side opens.
Flip it down here. No, this one. Yeah, flip it down this way. Okay, now where do we put this so we can show this better? Where do we put it over here? Okay. Okay. Now let me grab the power cable. Okay. Actually, we won't plug it in first because I'm going to turn it around. So let me turn it around.
First. So first of all, just looking at it, it looks physically in great condition. I don't see any scratches, even though it's a Pound R. Just like all of my other Pound Rs that I've bought over the years, they're generally in great shape. McIntosh is usually very careful with that. I'm going to flip it around so I can show you the back. So starting over here, these are the speaker binding posts. You'll notice that you have different impedance tabs, 2 ohms, 4 ohms, and 8 ohms. So depending on what your speaker is rated for, that's what you connect it to. And over the top, this is the DA2 DAC module. So you've got your 2 digital RCA inputs, 2 opticals, 1 USB, 1 MCT. So MCT is what McIntosh uses. If you have a McIntosh digital transport, a CD transport, you use this particular connection. It allows the transport to decode SACD discs and give you better sound. So you'd use that. And then, what is that? Oh, HDMI audio return channel. So it's audio only. So that's useful if you have a TV and you wanted to hook up your TV to your audio system. That's where you connect it, and then the sound comes out of your left and right channels. So that's the DA module, DA2 module. Data ports for remote control and triggers over here. And these are your outputs. So you have balance output 2. You have your balance inputs. You have 2 of those. And then these are all the RCA inputs. So you also have 2 sets of phono stages. Both are active. So MM and MC. So you can connect 2 turntables simultaneously. Both of them have adjustability as well. And then here's the balanced output as well. This is fixed, same as this. So this can go to, for example, a second amplifier in another room, or a subwoofer, whichever you prefer. And these connections over here are useful if you wanted to, for example, improve the preamp section in here. Say you decided you were going to buy their top of the line C12,000 preamplifier, right? It's kind of like 12,000. I just had a senior moment. Then you just plug this, take this out, and then the preamp output from your preamplifier will connect to the input over here. Or if you wanted to improve the amplifier, same thing. You take this out and do the same thing. These are all your RCA inputs as well. Now, I'm going to flip it around now and show you the front. Now, this thing is heavy. It's about 102, 103 pounds. So don't do this yourself unless you are very strong or you want to break your back like I have. Okay. So I've plugged the power cable in, turned it on, and you'll see these amber lights over here. It's going through its test cycle. And once everything is done, it goes out and you're ready to go. And of course, you've got the beautiful McIntosh meters over here. This is your input. This is the 8-band EQ, 25, 50, 100, and so on. So these are primarily the bass. This is mid-range. And then from here on, it's mostly for airiness and clarity in the high frequencies. By the way, don't ignore how much a good EQ can add to your listening pleasure. There may be a lot of recordings that you love in terms of the music, but the sound is not all that great. Why should you stop listening to the music? For example, I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Absolutely love the music. Sometimes it can be a little bit blurry, especially when the horns come in, or for example, Tower of Power can get very blurry and a bit bright. I can easily just adjust these two pots here and suddenly make it much more enjoyable. Now, if it's a great recording, you don't have to engage the EQ at all. So it's something that's very useful. Of course, your volume control over there. EQ, when you want to engage it, you press this. Otherwise, you take it out, mute. And there's also adjustments in here. If you push in, and it'll tell you the serial number, and let's see. There we go. So the DA2 firmware, and you can adjust the input names. So for example, if input 1 is streamer, then you can spell it. And you can even spell it with the name of the company of the streamer or the model, whichever you prefer. Outputs, set up the triggers, so you can set it up so that either when you turn this on, it triggers other Macintoshes or other products, etc., etc. Set up data ports, again, more for remote controls. Pass-through, I forgot to mention this. If you want to use this as part of your home theater setup, you can nominate one of the inputs as the pass-through, so this unit is only used as the amplifier section. The preamp is completely bypassed. And then the setup, of course, the HDMI audio return channel. So this is where you set it up for your TV and lip sync. So sometimes when you're watching TV, the audio and the video is out of sync, just like how I'm talking right now, especially when you watch old Chinese kung fu movies. Yes, brother, I miss kicking his butt. You know, that kind of thing. So you can adjust it, and then digital gain. So sometimes your digital inputs are a bit too high or too low. You can adjust that, and then return to IR codes normal. You can have the front enabled or the back. So if you are hooked up, if you've hooked up this unit in a cabinet and the door is closed, and you have a separate IR receiver, then you can set it up so that the IR reception is connected to the back. So there's a lot of adjustments, auto on and off. Oh, this is, here we go. Right now it's enabled, which means after 10-15 minutes of inactivity, the unit will go into automatic standby. If you don't like that, you can change that, factory reset, and then that's it. And then we're back to normal again. See, I did all that without reading the manual. All right, so that is the MA9500. We're going to break it in. This is crazy. For about $16,000, we now have a whole bunch of integrated amps sub $20,000. We have the MA12000, which is just over $20,000. We have the Daniel Hertz, which is around $20,000. We have a couple of Accuphases, the E4000 and E5000, around $15,000 to $20,000. We've got the, what am I missing? Hagel H400. It's in that price range as well. Last December, I did an exhaustive comparison between a whole bunch of integrated amps. but we didn't have this at the time. So now we're going to break this in, listen to it, and then maybe compare it to the MA12000. For those of you who are wondering, would I prefer the MA12000 with the tubes, or maybe prefer the 9500 for less money? That's something that we can check out as well. Anyway, thank you for watching this unboxing video, and hope you enjoyed it. If you don't, I don't care. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.